Hey, Fox here. We have Muttmen episode number 139, and I'm joined, as always, by the Texas boy. How are you, good sir?
Doing good, Mr. Fox. How about yourself on this nice Tuesday evening that we record?
Let's not talk about Tuesdays anymore. We're done and over that topic. I want to hear a text message this week, something we haven't heard in a long time. Talk to me, Tex.
A text message this week. I went to a Harry Potter costume party / murder mystery. They told me to bring a bottle of vanilla vodka. No,
did you beat up all the did you beat up all the nerds there or what?
Well, so like going to a party full of nerds when you're not a nerd yourself, in that aspect, I'm a Mutt nerd. I'm not a Harry Potter lore guy. Dog, when I tell you I was lost, they're over here talking about like a bunch of shit like polyjuice and like wolves and stuff. I've never seen Harry Potter stuff. And so I was like, all right, so I have no friends here. So I found my friend in a bottle of vodka. And I tell you, I drank an entire bottle of vodka pretty much that night.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if you have struggle with any type of social or any type of experience like that, you can always find a friend in the bottle.
Yes, because like I'm not bad talking to people. I'm not bad talking to people because if I was, I probably would have a podcast with you. But like when you're talking about something I don't even know anything about, I'm just like I don't know what to do now. I'm just standing here awkwardly. So it's better to stand there awkward with a drink in your hand. That's a little bit better to do.
You've never seen Harry Potter stuff?
So I seen the first two. I seen how the last one ends. I don't watch it with enough detail to like do the accents to talk about like how like so one of the big things at the party was there was a photo taken and there were two clones at the party in the photo, right? Trying to figure out who's who. And then they were talking like for like 5 minutes trying to investigate who this was. And then somebody said it was this person. They said no, because in this movie they did this, they proved it was this person. It was like one of those string theory things that I just couldn't follow. So I just tapped out at that point. I'm like, this is not for me. I had fun though. I mean,
that's why you always relate it back to something you know, like when or just like, hey, that Haggard guy's pretty cool, huh?
Right,
like
right.
Just have a generic 3 lines, like like when people try to talk about sports. That did you see that ludicrous display last night? Do you know how often that works? Like the Cowboys, it perfectly works, like every time. Or like the thing about Wagner is he's always trying to walk it in. You know, when you're talking about soccer, you can just go to these lines and then direct the conversation somewhere else that you know of, Tex. Perfect.
Well, so what I did was like whenever they were not talking about Harry Potter, I would insert myself and they're talking about like other stuff. And then that's how it ended up happening, talking about Johnny Depp, how bad of a person he is. And then one of the other things is talking about just like when I'm like not having anything contribute to a conversation, I'll say toy boat 5 times fast, and then we'll spark a conversation off from there. Just I don't know, man. It's
watch me eat all these crackers really quickly. Yeah. I can do 6 in a minute. Yeah. Hey, we should introduce our guest though.
We should. You got it.
Yeah, I think probably the most positive person I follow on Twitter, and I swear to God, I will break him. I will bring out the negativity. I must break you. I'm like Drago in Rocky 4. MillsGaming. How are you, sir?
Hold on 1 second. Twitter, Gut Fox, block. Oh, we're good now. We're good now. What's going on, guys?
Okay, it's all solved. You're back. You're keeping positive. And I love the energy. I love Mills and his positive outlook on things. So, Mills, why are you so positive?
It was probably about late 20s. I was not always this positive. Mid 20s, early 20s. I was as bad as everybody. And I've got the forum post to prove it. But somewhere around like between 28 and 32, I got to a point where I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with it. Every time I would do it, it just closed more doors than it opened. And it was an outlook on life. It was real life. It was online. It was everything. It was just door closed every time I did this. So I said, you know what? We're going to go the other way with this. I'm going to try to look at the good part of everything, still accept the bad with it, but try to make the bad into good. Try to change as much as I possibly could. And it got to a point where I started leaving footprints places, good footprints, whether it be one person on Twitter or, in a community. And it was rewarding. It's a little addictive in terms of getting that rewarding feeling for leaving footprints behind. Almost like, and this is way overblown, but almost like a legacy in a certain place. I feel like sports gaming is my legacy. I get to make change in those communities, in places that some people don't want to wade, giving a door between the devs and the community that not a lot of people get a chance to. So that's where it comes from. A lot of that is enjoying that feeling and getting to see the fruit of your labor after so long.
Yeah, you say so. There's a lot there that I want to talk about, and we're going to talk. First part of this podcast will be about a lot of that stuff. But you say negativity never got you anywhere. Well, guess what? Yesterday I tweeted how terrible the new James Conner card is, and I got 267 likes. So I'm gonna say negativity does work and does get you likes on Twitter. So
but out of
just
curiosity,
watch yourself.
That James Conner card, just out of curiosity, does it still have a low break tackle rating on it?
It doesn't matter what happened to it. It matters.
Well,
I got
they updated
260. Did they really update it? I don't know.
No,
Because I swear it was still 79. I saw.
You got the likes out of it, which is awesome. I mean, you're getting that community backing, and that's something that you could fix in the future. Don't get me wrong. Negativity will get changes in the future. It's just easier to do it when you can find some way to find the good in it and say, look, that James Conner card, you're right. I agree with you on this. That the break tackle on that is a travesty, considering I'm a Ravens fan. I watched him break tackles on Sunday. But if I could find someone to say, hey, look, they're attempting to bring lower players up into these hero roles. This is not the Darius Leonard card where people were going, hey, this is a 92. Why is this a 92? At the very least, they're trying to bring other players into the program and continue to move forward with it. Now, in the future, you can say, hey, look, if you're going to put a player in like this, don't just put 5 up. Don't just add 5 rating to his break tackle to an already card that was rated at the beginning of the season. Try looking at what they're doing in the actual game that you're rating them for. So that, like I said, your negativity can be brought into that, but you don't go overboard as well. You're not you don't go like FEA for this. You're giving a constructive negative feedback.
Yeah, I feel like the FEA is kind of like in the margins. We'll say it's heavily implied.
Okay, I can deal with that.
This card's terrible, by the way. I'm looking at this card right now, bro. Dog, this motherfucker bad. Like, yo.
It's not good, and I'll be the first one to admit it's not a great card. Like, I have no problem saying that
so
card.
like,
you get masked by you see the truck rating. Like, oh man, this is a really good. Oh, whoa, wait a second. That bottom right hand side of that card is not looking where I need to be.
yes, I mean, and Trucky's not getting this year's Madden anyway. So I'm just looking compared to like my Christian McCaffrey, who's like 180K. Yeah, he's better. It's just like he has higher break tackle, and James Conner leads the league in broken tackles. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
So, anyways, I get you. You're saying being positive and making inroads with companies allows you to make changes more effectively than being a professional negative tweeter.
Correct, and it also allows me to communicate with the negative side of Twitter and get their voice heard a little better, a little more clear. I do that more in the show than Madden because I'm more involved in the show's Diamond Dynasty and everything inside of that. But you'd be amazed how many times you can take somebody that is consistently negative about a product, get them into a DM, which is, again, probably one of the biggest tools I use is DMs over public Twitter, and see what the real problem is. And maybe they don't change the way they act on regular Twitter, but you can actually get a problem and get a fix in on the game for that. So when sentiment, that's one of the things about community sentiment is you have to wade through a lot of that for people's voices, because even the negative people deserve to get their voice heard. This is not, hey, let's just cut them out. This is, hey, they might have a real good point. We need to figure out what that point is and kind of let them understand that we understand what their point is.
So you're saying you're professional at sliding into DMs, huh?
I'm a professional slider into DMs. I've got beautifully smooth shoes. I'm like Clark Griswold.
Texas, what are your thoughts about negative people and kind of catering to them, making them more positive and that kind of stuff? And what are your thoughts? Does that work?
Trying to cater to those that are being negative, I don't know, because like it depends what the person on the other end does with that. If they have a valid point, they're probably not going to change their ways, but you also got to give them better answers than what we've been getting as of lately. So it's
what do you mean by that?
So that's one of my points earlier today. Like we'll talk about Kralo.
You mean did you say on Twitter or later in the podcast?
Well, we can do it right now. So
okay.
Like a lot of the stuff that ends up happening is if you don't get a good response back. And so when I wrote Kralo about the training stuff, and he was like, contact EA support. That's not an answer. That's going to make somebody mad, and especially if you have dealt with EA support. So when he said that, it's a correct answer for him to put as a community feedback guy. But what ends up happening is I get a message underneath that comment saying I contacted EA support for 2 hours and nothing got done.
Yeah, the issue with referring to people to EA support is that they're terrible.
Yeah. And so if you tell somebody to do that, that's not it's proper communication, but it's not going to make somebody more positive, because at the end of that result, after somebody goes through all that, the process to get to hopefully the end, nothing comes out of it. They just feel like they waste their time, which is going to then breed more hate and breed more negativity.
It's not Kralo's fault that they're
no, it's not. But like, I understand his job is referred to that,
right?
But we know they don't do a good job, so don't refer to don't do that. Don't troll me like that. You know damn well I'm not wasting my time contacting EA support. Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
just say the team.
I get what you're saying, but like, it's tough because it's like, I don't know. Say you want a burger, so you go to the fry guy. Hey, can you get me a burger? And he's like, hey, go to the burger guy. You're like, no, that burger guy sucks. He's like, well, I can't do anything. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I do fries.
To eat. But there's nothing nowhere else to eat right now.
So go to another game because EA support sucks.
Yeah, but like, I'm just not going to waste my time. I've done that in the past where I've literally gotten like scammed, and I'm waiting in like chats for hours from EA.
The thing is, like, how many scammers do you think contact EA support on a daily basis? Like,
probably
people
a
trying
lot.
To scam coins and cards at EA
Probably
support.
a lot. So they're probably dealing with a bunch of people who are lying, but those that have valid cases, and we're going to escalate this up to the team, and then 2 weeks later, your claim's been found invalid. I'm like, wait, why is this? I got proof. Like, what do you mean this is invalid?
Because they know it's from you, Texas. Like, this guy's a professional coin promoter. He's gone.
Right. I used to be so good at getting my stuff from EA support, bro. I got my coins back when they lied about the corner co-op you pack 2 years ago.
Yeah. And then people started scamming, right? Because they heard how good it was how easy it was to get coins.
People started scamming, then all of a sudden now they all suck, and they all. Yeah. The worst part is because it's just I rather talk on the phone, but like they want you to do that group, they want to do the chat shit, and I don't like the chat stuff because they'll take forever. So then I go get a drink, come back, it's like 7 messages. Oh, they're gone. I'm like, I was gone for 2 minutes. Like, y'all, it's just like I gotta go find another rep. So it just the answer is like, so if you can like get somebody a good answer and they're satisfied with that answer, obviously, then it's gonna be a little better to have better communication going forward. But if the answer is something that's just like we all know that's not the correct one, then that's gonna make people more angry. So there's different ways to communicate.
Mills, have you ever dealt with EA support, and why are you still positive?
I actually have. Back in the day, I've dealt with EA support multiple times for NHL when I was big into Hockey Ultimate Team, and a bunch of times with Madden. Just because this is before the Game Changer program, obviously, but
so way back in the day.
Yeah, and I'm like Texas. I prefer phone support. I prefer being able to talk to somebody as opposed to have somebody on the other end of the computer, because you lose so much personability and I think personal accountability a little bit too. If you have somebody on the phone, I feel like that person will take more accountability to your problem as opposed to somebody who's on the other end of a chat that might be walking, 3 cubicles over to tell somebody about their date when they come back. Like, I want to be able to have that conversation. I deal with it more on Comcast's side because of my internet issues than EA help, but it's essentially the same idea. It's outsourced help on a chat. So I will say in this specific situation with Kralo, we'll talk Kralo specifically. If you ever want to see what Kralo deals with, which I think we all know, search his on Twitter. Like, search who's adding him on Twitter. He deals with some of the lowest of the low comments. When he was having physical and health issues, like, there were people tweeting him about his health issues, about praying that he got worse because of how bad Madden was. So I feel for him. I know he's in a community manager role where he is going to get that. It's a lot of us say it's expected in that role. I would hope that some of the negativity is expected, but not personal attacks. And I have no problem with saying, hey, if you have a problem, tweet Kralo, and if Kralo tells you to EA help, it is what it is. Just don't go back to Kralo and be like, F you, Kralo. We're not saying Texas did this, but I mean, don't go back to Kralo and be like, oh, that's F you, this is not the way to go. You should be answering my question personally, when he gets literally hundreds of questions, and his Twitter account is a very, very small part of what he does. He deals with a ton more than just EA's open-faced community management side. And
I just with that, I just don't like the whole passing the buck element, because like I'm gonna go to EA support, they're gonna hope I forget in 2 weeks. Like, EA's management style is Hope you forget.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the fact of not wanting to go EA help because, again, you have Kralo, you have an accountable person. You could say, hey, look, if I give this to him, I can go back to him, as opposed to going to EA help and I could get, hundreds of different people I could be accountable for that I don't know their real names. What I'm saying, though, is that you are one of a few thousand that are also holding Kralo specifically accountable. So
Kralo follows. What I'm trying to say, I have more followers than Kralo, so he gets my notification. So
right, no, a little different. He's up in those notifications.
He sees my tweets.
Yeah, no, I get that. I fully get that. And again, if he's the way I see community service for that or community management for that is if you can fix 10% of the problems, that's a win. I'd want to be able to fix, like, personally, if you can fix 10% of the problems that come to you personally in a huge game like Madden or a huge game like NBA 2K, I consider that a win. And I think he's way more personable than some of the other community managers.
Oh, definitely.
Game. So,
the thing about it, we need more in Madden because, like, I felt bad because after I tweeted him that, he said he needed to take a day off because it's family day on Sunday, and I felt bad, but then I also felt like EA drops content on Sundays, so like maybe there should be somebody else that we can contact about this issue, as opposed to just contacting one guy. But
I don't disagree. I don't.
Other
disagree
community managers go into hiding. I know a while ago wasn't AJ a community manager, and didn't he go into hiding after an incident? So
well, AJ was a community manager, and they tend to back off. It's like any other job. I would say something like along the lines of the show, which I'm also involved with on a professional basis. You see a guy like Ramon Russell, he's the community manager, but he got to the point where he was getting attacked so much that it's, hey, I can only give you the business answer now, because if I keep giving you personal answers, the more personal I get with Twitter, the more attacks I get back. That is the nature of community management for these positions. And a lot of people step into that position and don't get that at first. They're like, okay, well, I'm going to help everybody. And then they realize, a few months in or a year down the road that, oh my God, I'm helping everybody and it's just making it worse. It feels like you're fixing, two rocks at the bottom of the hill, and then you're waiting for the avalanche to continue coming and it just doesn't stop. So it's a problem that I agree could possibly use more people thrown at it. Would be nice. But for what we have what we have. So
yeah, I know GovFox believes EA should just spend more money that because they're making a lot of it as it is anyway on more resources.
Do you want me to jump? I was going to wait for Mills. You answer it. I've already answered that.
Yeah, so I'll put my point on resources. Until I know what they're actually spending, I don't think that any of us are qualified to say that. I want them to spend more money too, because they do make a ton. We can all say they make a ton of money on Ultimate Team. They make a ton of money on FIFA Ultimate Team, and FIFA and NHL. I always talk about this. NHL, when it came to next gen console, if it wasn't for Ultimate Team, that series is not here right now in terms of the money that Ultimate Team made. That being said, I don't know what they're spending. Like, I don't know what their
well, you could get pretty good like what we care about our bodies, right? Developing the game, supporting the game, that kind of thing. You've been down to EA, Texas, and I haven't. You've met with the Madden people multiple times, correct?
Yes.
You could get a general sense of how many bodies are working on each portion of the game, right?
I have a general sense of what's going on down there.
So you, more than anybody else, would be able to tell how much they're spending and how many people they have on this game, right?
I would say I can tell you how many people. I can't tell you how much they're spending. I mean, I can give you a general idea, but again, I don't know any of the salaries. I know the front-facing people. Let's put it that way. They're very large. All of their headquarters are very large buildings. We are isolated to one portion of the building down there, and that's nothing that's hidden or secretive or anything.
Tiburon has is Tiburon at more than Madden or not?
Yes, NBA Live is built out of Tiburon, and all of their mobile or some of their mobile games are out of Tiburon as well.
Yeah, they gotta get rid of NBA Live.
Definitely. Well, not get rid of, but like bury it.
What do you mean bury?
Like bury, like not only like does that, and then also just never resurrect.
Don't even act like it never happened.
Yeah.
I can sort of comment on
Put
that.
all those resources to Madden. Madden's been fun of that game.
Madden and FIFA.
We say that because we're Madden fans, but I'm also an NBA fan, and I recognize that the NBA is growing much faster than the NFL is.
I get you, but that game's not. And so they need to focus on. Like, I understand they want to make money. I get it. Don't drop that game till it's ready. Like, they can literally just don't shelve it for 3 years until they have a product that's actually good. I was gonna get live, and then I saw Isaiah Thomas block a shot with his head above the rim. So I was like, nah, we're not doing this. And so I like that because I know certain college institutions like football, their football program pays for other programs like golfing and tennis and volleyball for other women's sports especially. But that's still not an excuse not to pay the players. So I feel like if EA would just focus their efforts on Madden, make Madden as great as possible, they can have more money to go elsewhere. Because splitting the team up and wasting resources on stuff like Long Shot and Live for what it is right now is just a misuse of funds, in my opinion.
Well, it's a coincidence that you use that analogy because I use that analogy constantly within Madden. So we're talking about maybe they should shut down NBA Live and put those funds to Madden. Well, remember, I come from the franchise side of Madden as well, where we're saying, hey, why don't they put some of the funds that they put into Ultimate Team into franchise? So even within there, we could say that Ultimate Team is the college football team, whereas franchise might be the baseball team, that's getting good uniforms because the college football team is the national champion. So even within the building or within the game, forget the building, even within the game, they have those issues of where resources are going. Obviously, Ultimate Team brings in much more money than franchise ever will. But franchise lags behind, so...
Here's the thing. The issue with franchise is your Gamechangers are telling EA not to invest more money into the game.
You are... We've had some We've butted some heads. We've butted some heads, myself and other franchise-specific Gamechangers about that.
They literally tell EA, and they defend EA, and say, no, you guys are spending too much money as it is. A business needs to make more money. So there are people with that are opposing your point of view about resources that are saying Gamechangers, like, hey, don't invest any more money. Like, does that make you like say, what the hell? Why are these people at the same role as I do?
Like, how does that affect your job if somebody's saying the opposite of what you're saying? Because that seems like that might cause some issues because they don't know what side to take.
You're gonna hear me say this, and I know what you guys are gonna say, so I'll just say it the way the way I normally will. While those people are entitled to their opinion, I believe that if you sat me down in front of those people and I've sat down in front of some of those people in a controlled atmosphere, I believe that my argument on how franchise could get better or what they should be doing will trump theirs, and I can bring logic to the statement as well. I don't believe telling them not to spend money on the game is insanity. Is absolute insanity. Take the money you're using from MUT. If you're talking about reallocating resources, then I can listen to that argument. But saying, don't put any more money into the game is insane. I've seen all the other arguments like, what is Long Shot doing? What is Long Shot doing for the game? Well, Long Shot Season 1 brought a ton of people that didn't play Madden into the game.
No. That's a baseless fact. There's nothing behind it because I've heard opposite from insiders.
I'm speaking from. Okay, well, all right. You're right. It's a baseless fact because I can't bring you the numbers to prove it. I'm stating from my experience that it brings people that weren't involved in Madden into Madden. And I don't know how many stayed though. That's the thing. I don't know how many people stayed past the story of Long Shot. And I thought Long Shot Season 2 was a failure. I thought Long Shot Season 2 was, in terms of production quality and just the quality of the actual mode, was way...
I didn't play it because I heard the same thing. I heard Rob Schneider was the Dallas Cowboys GM. Is that true?
I don't think it was Rob Schneider himself, but people would like...
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Rob Schneider. I
was hoping you confirmed that or not.
No, not
I didn't know if that
Rob
was...
Schneider is the Dallas Cowboys GM, yeah.
He'd probably do as well as the Cowboys are doing. But anyways, yeah, so there's a lot of issues. Like, so that's like part of the feedback. Like, I can't completely blame EA if this is the kind of feedback that they're getting from the people that are in your program.
I agree with that.
If they're getting shit feedback, then like, how do we blame EA for a lot of the stuff that they're putting out?
Well, here's the other part of this too: is that so the way feedback works is that we don't always get response on the feedback, and I'm not talking just Game Changer. I'm talking about in general. One of the things that I've been beating the drum on since the beginning is that we need to see more transparency. We're starting to see some of it. like every once in a while you'll see an update where they talk about specific ratings and how they affect players. And I think part of that may be driven, again, I'll bring them up again, by a site like MuttLeaks. Like MuttLeaks is diving into those ratings. Well, we're getting to see how those ratings affect and combo together in some of these update notes. I'd love to see EA with more transparency on how ratings affect plays in very specific ways, or just more transparency in general. So when you give feedback to the Game Changer then funnels that feedback to EA. Now, we don't always get a response from that, and I don't know that Game Changers are entitled to a response from that, because decisions are made behind closed doors, and none of us work for EA. None of us are paid up front by EA. Where some of us are gifted access or gifted assets, one of the two. To help.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, to help. So, but I mean, that's the way feedback works. Is we don't always know as well, and like you said, if we are giving bad feedback or not giving feedback that the community is telling us, then a Game Changer is not doing their job.
Yeah, I get it. So, like, you do that pretty frequently with the community sentiment. You take people, what they say on Twitter, and send in, like, notes to Kralo and whatnot?
Correct.
And so, like, when you talk about transparency, sorry, I'm going to shift again. I want to go back to this. You talk about transparency, it feels like Kralo, Guru are out there, but besides for that, all the rest of them are kind of pulled back. Clint's out there a little bit answering questions and stuff, but it seems like a lot of the other people that used to be out, did Twitter make them pull back in? Like, is it kind of like inside EA they're saying, hey, developers of this game, don't really engage as much anymore. That's Kralo's job, make him do it.
I think that's an industry thing as well. It's definitely happening inside of EA, but I think it's happening around the industry too. You'll see sometimes like Epic, you'll see some of those guys out, or some of the Call of Duty guys out, or even the Battlefield guys, you'll see some of those guys out. But I think overall, the industry is going more towards a one voice, official voice kind of social media, because developers at this point are attacked by so many people. And I hate to keep bringing up the personal attacks, but that's legitimately what it is. You could ask a guy like Rex Dixon. He was attacked constantly and still stood up on the front line. Like you said, Clint's still out there at times, but Clint gets attacked. Every time he goes out, he gets attacked on the way back in. So I don't think you can force any of those developers to say, hey, look, you need to be on Twitter. Because it's so much negativity, and it just brings down like that quality of, I still believe it affects their quality of production if they're dealing with that on a daily basis. So
yeah, I don't believe that. Tex, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it can, because it can sour your work week. You can sour your mood if somebody's out here saying stuff to you. But you got to like adopt a new philosophy. So like for me, I don't really let public criticism affect me. Like anybody to my peer, anybody that I respect, they say something inappropriate to me or something that's like criticism, I'll take that. But if somebody who has like 7 Twitter followers says that I hope your whole family dies, I'm like, oh, all right. I guess it's because I have a different mentality as doing YouTube for so long. You just kind of let these things slide off your back, where some of these people kind of like with the overwhelming messages kind of get bogged down and can't perform up to a standard that they have given themselves. So I think that some people's philosophies and mentalities need to change. So
I would agree. Like you gotta have you get thicker skin until you get a mental breakdown as a YouTuber, streamer, that kind of stuff. So I see what you're saying. Like, so is this why they're doing the Madden daily stuff? It's kind of like, Sarah Sanders in the White House, and she's like of the daily briefings. Is that what they're doing? Is that instead of putting their developers out there on Twitter, they're saying, here, this is our daily briefing, going ahead, sharing all these things. Where's the question and answer going to be with the press, Mills? When's that coming up?
So the Madden Daily Drops, I think, is more, again, of a transparency thing than it is, hey, look, we are going to do this because we don't want all our developers on there. I think it's still early in its life. I would love to see, like you said, a Q&A involved with it. This is something, again, some of the content creators in the Game Changer program have been asking them to do. Like, take us behind the scenes, show us what goes on, even further than what they're doing with Madden Daily Drops. But Madden Daily Drops, I think, is like a, hey, here's what's going on today in Madden. We want to make sure that you're getting the news. All the content creators after that can take it however they want, can take all of that news and break it down. But we want to tell you what's coming out from an official source, an official, talking head. at every time something comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, I get it. I get it. They want to use Game Changers, but if any developers or anybody in EA ever wants, and if they're listening, ever wants to get the question and answers, we got it right here. Muttman Podcast, independent. We'll grill you nice and hard and leave you nice and fresh and smelling well for dinner. I don't know where that's going, but that's just my pitch. But yeah, I get you for the Game Changers. So, like, with that, do you guys put in this community sentiment reports, do all that, but, like, what do you get out of it? Like, you tell me your history. Like, well, you told me your history, but tell the audience your history and why you got selected to be a game changer, and, like, what do you get out of it?
So I started as a forum mod and site admin and community manager for operationsports.com. It is a more simulation-based sports gaming website. From there, I went on and moved to Twitch. Now, between that time period, towards the end of where I was the community manager of Operation Sports to where I'm on Twitch now, I was offered to come into the Game Changer program for Madden for their franchise and gameplay feedback side. There was never an intent of adding me as part of the content portion, because Game Changers are technically, some of them are content creators and some of them do gameplay feedback. There is a separation between church and state there. So they take as I moved more into content, I was getting opportunities to say, hey, would you mind announcing, like, this card, or is coming out on your Twitter, or last year, remember they did Thursday night and Friday night Madden. I was able to host a couple of those on my channel as an opportunity to be in a partnership with EA to say, hey, look, we will allow you to, run Friday night Madden for 2 weeks. In exchange, here's what we want you to do. Hey, look, can you talk about what's going on this week? Play your franchise mode. Show franchise mode off. The Madden playbook this year, I was able to do the presentation side because I specialize on a lot of the presentation aspects in Madden. Those things, getting early access, is a way to grow my channel. In exchange, the back and forth is I will continue to bring feedback in from that side of the game, or I will, be an ambassador to the community to where I can show, hey, look, this is the information I'm getting from EA. You give me the information, I'll give it back to EA. That way, it frees up some hands on EA's side. I'm helping grow my channel. That's the give and take for the Game Changer program. Except for the gameplay guys. The gameplay guys are doing this for nothing. The gameplay guys are legitimately just doing this, and this is where I started, because they want to see the game better. Like, when you're giving gameplay feedback or you're giving ideas.
Who's a gameplay guy? Like Rayweather's a gameplay guy, isn't he?
Rayweather is, but Rayweather's a content creator as well. So some of those do cross over. Like Zan. Zan is a great example of a gameplay guy who came into content creation with Mudhead, and his own channel. So those, like,
yeah, Zan's gotten a lot of things from EA. Both the exclusive interview with their guy. What was his name last summer? The creative director that ended up getting fired a few months later.
Granado.
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos, and then he gets. Yeah, well, I mean, so Zan's a content creator, so he's gotten hosted with those Friday night drops and stuff. So he's gotten. Who else is a gameplay guy that isn't a content creator?
At that point, there are some guys that I don't know if I can, because they're not required to show their Game Changers if they're not content creators. So I know some of them, but I don't know that I could actually go out and tell you who they are without having approval from them first, unfortunately.
Oh, gotcha. Don't want to dox him.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be like, hey, look, this guy's a game changer, a gameplay feedback guy, and then have somebody go on Twitter and be like, hey, you, listen to me, and that's not necessarily their role. So,
I gotcha. So that's fair. So, like, me and Tex had a discussion last week on the podcast. Texas says EA doesn't do enough for their Game Changers. Do you believe that to be true?
I think that EA, depending on, let's not go depending. Let's give it a definitive answer. I think EA could do better, and I think that's a consistent thing for them. But again, you're looking at a partnership program that is still in its infancy. They've changed direction a couple of times. They thought maybe having a ton of Game Changers was the right way to go. Now they're thinking maybe not a ton of Game Changers to say, hey, look, maybe we want to really focus on these specific things.
More of EA cutting costs. I see it right there.
Well, I mean, you said cutting costs, but I mean, I haven't seen a paycheck yet. I mean, so.
Well, they gotta fly you out there, feed you, meet with you, pamper you, treat you like kings, so that way you give them positive feedback on how great they are, and then pump the game out on Twitter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm so positive, because they tell me I have to be positive to be in the program. No, unfortunately, that's one of the things. You're absolutely right. We get airfare. EA Play. I was flown to EA Play and stayed in a hotel on EA's dime, and everything that we put out for that, with the way the FTC is now, you have to disclose, like, EA flew me out here. This is EA's dime. Like, this is Sony's dime when I'm doing this. But one of the things that is not in the Game Changer like agreement is you can't be negative. Like, we're allowed to. I've gone off on them on franchise mode a couple times on Twitter. Now, granted, it's 1 a.m. in the morning, but every time I do it, it's amazing that you say about the likes that you got for the tweet about James Conner. It's amazing every time that I rag on EA, my likes skyrocket.
You see how tempting he is, the dark side?
I'm aware.
Come. Let the hate flow through you, Mills.
Fox, are you my father is what I need to know. So yeah, it's amazing how that happens. But you're not wrong in that EA could do much more for the Game Changers in terms of partnership programs or highlighting their guys. Now, there are a couple of Game Changers, like Yo Boy Pizza has a video with him and Antonio Brown on his channel that got a ton of views.
That did bonkers numbers.
Kind of a PR thing, yeah. So, I mean, they do some stuff. They could probably do more in terms of not only accepting feedback, but communication in terms back and forth, not only with the Game Changers, but, just in general.
Yeah, Texas took that side. It says, I say, I mean, I don't really care from my point of view.
Right.
Like, I don't care what EA gives Game Changers, but it's cool that they're helping you guys out, because you guys are clearly helping them out. So it's cool that it's going back and forth, and that it's kind of like a system that goes. So, Tex, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, like I said, they can always be doing more. That's what my whole point was. So, like, them shouting out somebody's YouTube channels on their Twitch stream, which gets like 5,000 viewers a day, got that guy, 4 times or 8 times many views he had going into it. So I just don't think just giving you content early on and then content towards the end of the year going into the next year is like the best way to go about doing things. My whole complaint was they can hire the Migos to perform at EA Play, a random concert they didn't announce to anybody, but they can't really use that budget to pay these guys that play the game on a daily basis that provide entertaining content for their subscribers. No? Okay. Good talk.
Paying a Game Changer turns into a really slippery slope, though.
Well, before you get down that line, they were it wasn't game. They were a program called Ronku. I don't know if it was Game Changers, but people who were part of that was an option. They can make money extra. So
right, that's
my whole thing. I think some guys were Game Changers as well, but that's still another thing is what they can possibly be doing.
Well, and that's like one of the things on Twitch right now. So Twitch has a bounty board that's in beta for its partners. I'm a portion of that. I can actually talk about that, where you can get paid to do an hour of sponsored content on your channel. I could see that, but again, when you're partnered, like when you're partnered directly with a developer like that, especially one like EA that's had such issues in the past with loot boxes and stuff like that, like you really want to be careful about directly, here's $50 to do this. Now maybe if you're partnered directly with like I know Battlefield did it when Battlefield had their beta and had Ninja and all those guys, they paid them for the hours they played on Twitch. So they do that for larger content creators, but the draw for a mid-sized content creator like myself or some of the YouTubers is, hey, look, we'll help you grow your channel further so you have those opportunities in the future.
Well, it doesn't gotta be like directly. It could be like indirectly, but like help y'all with sponsors, help y'all get like, cause they give y'all a lot of like Elgato stuff, but I don't know how many of y'all have like an Elgato sponsorship. You get like a bunch of the stuff from them. So like also with Ronku, which it was view based, so it was a big old pool of money, and then how many views you guys, how much money you got out of that, so they can still then help their Game Changers create content on YouTube. Because I know Volt might listen to this podcast. I like Volt a lot, but Volt should be uploading to YouTube because he's a Game Changer, but he doesn't as much as I would like him to. He has uploaded in 2 weeks. And he probably would do a lot more if there was a pool of money he could possibly get for a view goal or something like that.
If that's a line you want to go, I'm okay with that. If to motivate them to upload more, and I think Volt's a hell of a content creator too. When he puts his mind to something, and especially some of the cards he makes in terms of artwork, and his YouTube videos are entertaining. Like, those are things you want to see and you want to represent your brand. But I would see more.
People won't do it for free,
right? I would say more along the lines of sponsorships. I agree with the sponsorship side. More along the lines of sponsorships. I still don't know that I would ever agree with taking money, unless again you are a large streamer that's bringing in significant views.
Wait, why? Why can only large streamers take money from people?
Because the partnership. What are you bringing? Like, what are you bringing to the table? The bounty board is something Twitch uses, and it's a scaling. It's a scale. If the more views you have, the higher your dollar value for what you're getting. I just don't know that some of the mid-level content creators, again, and I'm including myself in this, I don't know what I would bring back to EA in terms of worth of money. Like, how do you put worth on that? And then at that point, how are you going to separate your entire content creator program in terms of what you're paying them? When you see most pay for jobs like that, they're by the job, not by because you're partnered with somebody.
Well, I mean, you could just look at view stats, right? So
Yeah.
if they pay you $100 for 10,000 views, there you hit your 10,000 views, you get $100. Hit 8,000 views, you get $80.
If it was worked out like that, like I said, again, I could see that. I just don't know. Like I said, that I agree with it for a partnership program. Maybe on like a higher per job basis or a contracted basis, then I'd be 100% fine. And maybe you could bring some of your partners in on those contracted offers.
Yeah. So with that, do you see Gamechangers being sellouts because they work with EA so much, and that they're positive about EA because they get wined and dined by EA and going down to EA, and they're not getting paid by EA yet? Like, you can say the same thing about Fortnite, about them getting for the loot boxes and stuff.
Right.
Do you see that program? I mean, that's something similar where EA can do if people put in, say, Texas's name or your name into their packs, into the website, and then every time they buy packs, you get a certain, like, I think Fortnite has, like, what, 5% goes to the creator or something, 10%, I don't remember. But, like, do you think currently people see Gamechangers as sellouts? Do you think of yourself as a sellout for a company?
I think that the program as a whole is viewed right now as you don't give true feedback because you don't want to hurt EA's feelings because you're worried about your spot. I think that is the community view on the program, and I think that is partially because some of the early Gamechangers that may have actually done that. I think they're doing themselves a disservice if they do that.
There are still Gamechangers.
No,
and
I agree. I agree that there are Gamechangers in the program right now that obviously I will not name, but there are Gamechangers in the program that are doing disservice by fighting battles that they don't need to fight. Like coming up and saying, listen, this is a good thing for Madden when it really isn't. That being said, I think the community sentiment of that is on not only EA, but the Gamechangers. I think that program, again, I'm going to say it again, I think that transparency in that program is more important. You have to be able to see what is going on in that program and keep the NDA. You have to keep the NDA on some of the stuff, but like us flying down there, like that shouldn't be a big secret when we go down there. I get why it was, because I get why it was at one point, because it's, you don't want to hurt the feelings of some of the other people that aren't going down there, but like the community should know who they could go to. That's why I put it up in my profile that I'm a game changer. I say it all the time. I want people to know that they can come to me to talk about Madden if they want to, for whatever reason, and then I'll try to listen to them. The problem is that if you're a game changer and you're blowing smoke up the ass of EA, you are not only doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the Game Changer program a disservice in the community's eyes, and you're doing the devs a disservice. Because if you're telling the devs that the running game is fine, and when the running game wasn't fine, like, all you're doing is delaying the fact that they're going to have to fix it at some point during the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would I agree that I think there are some bad apples, and they ruined the bunch. I think I know a lot of Game Changers, and I do think a lot of them give very good feedback, and I do trust with their feedback that they give to EA. The issue doesn't become the feedback. Oftentimes it becomes EA's implementation of it and listening to it and what they change. And sometimes I've even heard from some Game Changers that EA's always got an excuse for something. So, like, when you give them feedback, they're like, well, this is why it is, and that you can't tell them, like, Here's the thing: you can justify in anybody's mind. You can justify just about anything in the world. There's a reason for everything. You can say it doesn't necessarily need to be a good reason, but there's a reason. But but oftentimes people don't understand. There's like good outweighs like the better. How do I say this? The good outweighs the bad, or like this way is better, even though that way has some value. This way is a superior move forward for the game. And so a lot of people, from what I've not a lot, just Game Changer or two that I've talked to, it seems like EA just doesn't. They seem to be the smartest guys in the room. Does that make sense? Where they're like, it's kind of like the Enron thing. Like they're like just they think they know what's best for the game and don't oftentimes listen. Would you say that is accurate to some extent?
I think to some extent that is accurate. I think it's gotten better with Kralo. I think Kralo has put a sense of accountability in that program, and I think the two things that have hurt that, because I think they were on a much better path in August. I think the two things that have hurt were major events, both in Kralo's life and in the Madden community life. Which, again, not to get into those or even use those as an excuse, because they're not. But both of them have taken major delays in changing that atmosphere. But I think the one thing that Kralo has brought into, he's obviously brought in more than that, but the big thing that Kralo has brought into this is accountability. Like when they did the Jabal Sheard thing, they dropped Jabal Sheard by accident. I thought Kralo's response when Kralo said, you know what, this was a mistake. He didn't come out and say, hey guys, it's no big deal, McClendon's up there now. But he said, listen, we made a mistake. This was a mistake in content on his Twitter page. It became his voice as the accountability. Do I think that it could get better? Absolutely. And we're talking about EA back when they were voted worst customer service not too long ago. You're talking about going from an E to a C. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be striving for an A.
Mm-hmm. Tex, I feel like you want to say something here.
No, I'm good. Y'all make good points.
I thought you were gonna bring up the comment about Kralo blaming the IPs for the blame the ISPs for that.
That's too easy, bro. That's
too easy. I thought I'll make it then. I'll take the easy joke. My entire thing is taking the easy joke for a cheap laugh. That's my entire shtick. So what happened when Kralo blamed the ISP for EA's problem?
I will say this, that Kralo is not only his own man, but he also is, remember, he is also taking information from another person or other people and trying to bring them to the public, since he is the voice as community manager. I'm going to guess that, and this is a guess on my side from knowing Kralo, I'm going to guess that Kralo didn't come up with the fact that it was the ISP's fault on his own. I'm going to guess somebody told him, again, erroneously, that the ISPs were having a problem when it wasn't.
Was this always have a fall guy? Is this part of that? Like every corporation, like we saw in The Simpsons, that damn T-board lost the bathroom key again. You always blame it on. You always have a fall guy. Blame it on the guy who doesn't speak English, right? So who's Kralo's fall guy at EA? Who name it? What's his name?
Kralo's fall guy at EA? I don't know. You think Kralo's gonna tell any of us?
I think Kralo's the fall guy at EA. I don't think he has a fall guy.
I think he is. He is the fall guy. The community manager position by nature is the fall guy. Like
it's like Chris Carter told the NFL rookies always have a fall guy.
Right?
Is Kralo's the fall guy? No, Kralo's got to have a fall guy.
If Kralo has a fall guy, Kralo will never. Just because the stand up guy that Kralo is, Kralo will never make it a public fall guy. If he has a fall guy in that company, that guy has fallen multiple times by Kralo's fist. Just because you know that's what Kralo can do. That's a very fearful man. Like that man could hurt many people. And he will never tell the public of that. But yeah, there's no way he's too stand up of a guy. I think we've all had interaction with Kralo in some way or another. That guy is in the best spot for this position, and I think his health issues delayed where he wants to be in this community management in the advancement
with the Game Changer program and everything.
All of it. Yeah. I think all of it took a step back with that. So.
Mutt 18 during the summer when Kralo was having his heart issues. Worst Mutt has ever been. That's the worst Mutt's ever been, hands down.
You couldn't get answers. You couldn't get answers from anybody because Kralo was the one that was giving the answers, and then everybody, and you're like, well, who do we talk to now? Who do we complain to, or who do we ask questions? Not even complain. Who do we ask questions to? You can see how important his direction is for communication.
I hope we don't drive him off Twitter or drive him out of the job like we've driven so many other EA guys, because man, he is invaluable. So all right, let's move off of Kralo and Game Changers. Was there anything else you want to ask about Game Changers other than like I calling them Sellout? What else? What other beef can you bring to the Game Changer program, Texas?
Other beef that I can bring to the Game Changer, nothing really. I don't have any like issues with that. I just kind of wish that a lot of people that probably should be Game Changers would be Game Changers, but just other than the fact that you just need to pay y'all. Y'all need to get paid, man. Y'all gotta get this money.
Yeah,
I got bills.
I was memeing about it. I do think the Game Changer program is invaluable, and I'm glad that you're a part of it, Mills, because you do seem to give good community feedback, at least what I've seen on Twitter. And you're like, maybe you're just one of those people that's like really nice in public, but like there's a bunch of dead bodies in your closet. Can you confirm or deny that?
I can absolutely confirm. If you watch my Twitch channel at any point after about 12, it gets really dark. So there is
nice.
Yeah, there. Believe me,
Meals after dark.
The one that's exactly what we call it, actually. No, what's funny is that I am very personable when I need to be. I'm very upfront, but I'm also very clear cut on what I want. I've had nose-to-nose arguments with developers in private on why this is still like this and why, because the Game Changer program is a lot like Kralo. We get blamed for a lot. Like, I don't want to be. I will stand up at the fire line anytime you want me to. But if you think I want to be there, you're insane, especially for something that should have been fixed 3 years ago. I've had that argument, so.
I got you. Yeah, I feel you. You guys do get blamed, but some of it, when you guys are making some wild statements on Twitter, is deserved.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So Texas, let's move on to let's talk about some MUT stuff. It's our favorite part of the MUT Men podcast is talking about MUT stuff. Series 3 happened, and we got some token sets. We got another journey. I got a question for Mills on that journey, and John Madden Speedcam came out. Tex, talk to us why token sets are the way they are.
You're talking about the elite tokens, gold tokens, and silver, correct?
Yep.
All right, so EA this past Friday thought it would be a good idea to upgrade the token sets like they normally do whenever they do like a huge update to content in Madden, okay? And so before it took 184 overall or higher, 84 plus. It wasn't capped. 84 or higher. 82 to 83, and then 380 to 81s, which brought the value at like 65,000 coins for an elite token. Sometimes 60, but 65,000 coins on average. This past weekend, they decided to increase all token sets. So golds went from being 10 players to being 12. Silver went from being 10 players to 12, which jacked the price up like 1,000 coins for the silver and about 3,000 for the gold. Not that bad of a deal. But with the elites, they changed the set drastically to where it's now 86 to 87, and that's pretty much the only elite you could put into that set. Like before, it was 84 plus. Now it's 86 to 87. So you got like 86 to 87, and 84 to 85, and 82 to 83, then 80 overall to 81 for an elite token, which basically jacked the price is set up by 30,000 coins.
So they increased it by 50%.
Yes.
The price.
Yes, they increased by 50%. And then they didn't update the flashback packs. They still take 2 elite tokens, 2 gold, 4 silver. Heavyweights is 2 less silver. And then the veterans are whatever. Nobody cares about those damn packs anyway. So to do a flashback pack, that day, if you were to buy everything out the auction block, was 250,000 coins. And Jesus. By the end of the day, there was no card you could pull to make your coins back.
Crazy. So that set is a loser.
That set's dead. Dead on arrival. Like, there's no point to do that set. I know some people prepared by making a bunch of elite tokens prior and also made a bunch of packs because they thought they might change the pack requirements. But, like, if you didn't do that, there's no point to spend your coins. Because if you pull the new Carlos Hyde, you're going to make like 25K. You're more likely to lose coins than make coins now doing flashbacks.
Yeah, like the 30 players you can pull, one of them you'll make your coins back. So why, Mills, does EA do these things?
I honestly believe that there's got to be. I don't know. I wish I could give you a reason. Like I sit here and listen to you guys talk about it, and I saw the conversations. I saw the YouTube videos that came up. I know we talked about CC before. CC ripped into him for it, for good reason. I think a lot of people ripped into him for it for the token sets going up. You'd have to think maybe it's something market wise, because the market has done such different things this year than anything we've ever been used to because of training.
I don't think it's that different.
You don't think the training
a little bit of exaggeration.
Like, you don't think training has changed things value wise in terms of what cards are keeping value this year because of that?
It has changed it, but not like, because we've always had elite token sets that have required, well, not always, but over the last 4 years, we've always had elite token sets which have set the minimum for a lot of the cards. 80 to 81s are higher than they have been in the past. Usually, this time of year, because elite tokens, I'd have to go back and look at the historical data, but usually elite tokens set a little bit of value. It might be a little bit higher this year because of training, but I don't think it's that crazy different.
No, I don't think it requires what they did to the set. Let's put it that way. I'm not using this as saying, hey, this is why they did it. But the only reason that I can come anywhere near is that there is something market-wise that they're trying to level out. Or there's something coming up in the future that they're just preparing for. And this is, hey, look, guys, we're going to take a kick to the gut here for a couple of weeks. But then when it comes out, maybe it's better there. I don't see it. I don't think there is a positive to come out of what they did to Elite sets.
So I thought eventually, I thought we might get 93 overalls, and I realized we just got 92s in flashbacks. I'm like, maybe they'll drop something in packs that's just like glitchy.
Right.
Because they could have easily dropped the Chris Johnson. He just retired, flashback Chris Johnson, 95 speed halfback. And that would have made the set like actually kind of profitable. If you pulled him, it's 500,000 coins easily. Mm-hmm. But that's not what they did. That's not what they did. They gave us a Carlos Hyde who looks like every other halfback we got. And so it seems like with the lack of elite tokens being used in other sets, because last year they were using like pretty much everything. And then on top of that, people using training. They kind of wanted to screw people over who are using training to make elite tokens. That's what I think happened. People were using their free training they got from EA's mess up and from winning Super Bowls. And they wanted to kind of screw over that market because that's what ended up happening. Because a lot of us were making flashbacks for not free, but for cheaper than EA probably wanted us to. Because you can get like 50, what is it, 3,200 training for like, what is that, 150K? Which then would make the flashback much cheaper. So you're over here. It's kind of like, so I think they're trying to course correct that by making it more expensive at that point. Am I crazy?
I mean, again, it had to be a correction of something, right? They had to correct something. They didn't just do this. They're very smart. Like they're very. Mm-hmm. It's like Gutfox said, to the better or worse. There are a lot of smart people in that room. There are a lot of people that are as good as like salary cap guys in the NFL. I've had those conversations. They had to have known what it would have done to the market or what they were trying to accomplish. Whether it be the correction for giving away all that training I don't know, but it had to be something. They didn't do it for no reason. They didn't do it just to say, hey, look, guys, let's see how many negative comments we can get on this one.
Can they do something like that? Like, can they put out some sort of set or solo sequence that's like, hey, here's a middle finger, guys. Like, just go ahead, good luck with it. It's like those Mario Maker worlds that kill you with hidden traps and stuff. Could they do something like that? A solo that you just randomly fail halfway through for no reason?
Just entirely continuously.
It's called solo battles.
Yeah. please don't start me with solo battles.
That's just just a random like, oh, you stepped on the 50-yard line. Oh, you're done. You lost the solo. Good luck. Better luck next time. I think that just a big F you. I'd be for it. Artificially hard solos that are just like you can't do something. Anyways. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're economists. I'm not like they've made a lot of mistakes in the past. They're making fewer of them, but they're still making mistakes. So maybe it's just simple. We'll hope this set gets more affordable down the road as higher overall cards come out and maybe 86s get cheaper. That could be their thinking as training gets cheaper since 88s went down.
Well, their thinking was we updated the Legends fantasy packs to now include 86s, right?
And then what the fuck is the toppers? The toppers stay the same.
So that's why they figure they can update the Elite set because 86s would be flooding the market because they got coin packs now.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the logic, but they didn't think to increase the overalls or anything else though.
Well, and let me tell you the best way for the community to fix this, and this is you're gonna hear me say this, so get ready. If something like this happens and you see it happening on the market or you see it happening on packs, do not buy the packs you see it happening on. Because if you buy the packs, they definitely look at how much each individual pack does, each individual promo does. If something fails, they'll go back and change it or they'll fix, or not that year, but they'll look back at it at year end and go, oh, wait, we did this. it didn't work. Let's not do that again. So like, that's the most important thing out of all this is if you see something you do not like, do not spend your money on it.
Texas, where have you heard that before about me telling you not to engage with things?
But then they made an entire game with it, so I don't think they care about our opinion.
Are you talking with power-ups last year?
Yeah,
are power-ups not better this year? Are they better this year or not, Tex?
Yeah, they're better because of the fact they couldn't have gotten any worse. Like, they literally couldn't have gotten worse.
He's not wrong there. He's not wrong.
They still aren't where they should. I still can't change the position of players. I still can't power up a player with the chemistry and get him to a threshold and get an ability. And we still don't know anything about what players can or cannot get abilities.
You know what I would love to see, speaking of positions? I would love to see the ability to just have a tackle, not a position-sided tackle. Or not like a free safety, strong safety, just a safety. And let me put him in either side that I want. Because in the way the NFL works now, they switch so much that it's so hard to like say, hey, Ed Reed's a strong safety. Well, I mean, is he really? He's more center field than anything. But now I'm going to have to, like last year I had to deal with Ed Reed and Eric Weddle on the same side because I'm a Ravens fan. Why can't I just, move them around?
Well, it was three people. It was Tony Jefferson, right. Eric Weddle, and Ed Reed. Right. My buddy Jason is also a fan of that team. So you had to have you had to play out of position and not get the chemistry. Which was just like stupid. And
this year until recently, we had no right tackles. Like it was like Lane Johnson and that was it. And now they're starting to put more right tackles out, but how much better would that have been if we could just said, hey, let's you have these left tackles. One of them can be better at running if you want to run to that side. Just shift them over. He's just a tackle, a guard, and a center now.
Yeah, or edge rushers. Yeah, I agree. It should be the way it is. I don't know why they haven't heard that feedback. They probably heard it, but they just haven't done anything about it.
Well, then this year they kind of course corrected because like we haven't got anybody change positions just yet. Because last year was a big deal. Then there was like, oh, the people play this position in real life, so that's why we decided to change it. But so far has been the case. And then now we got like every strong safety in Madden coming out every single promo.
Remember,
it's like 4 of them
last year,
like really good.
One of the big ones was Joey Bosa last year, right? Because he was a power up, like, and he switched sides because of his correct me if I'm wrong, team of the year, right? Switch sides, and you were like, well. I already have this other power-up over here, and that's, again, to what Fox said, the power-up system being better this year. So that.
Yeah. Well, wait, what was that?
The Bosa, like, so to what you said, the power-up system being better this year. Because if that were to happen this year, you could at the very least get half of your training back and sell maybe some of the base card out of it.
Yeah, except for abilities. Why can't we get our training back from abilities?
Asking the wrong guy, man. You're asking the wrong guy. Like I would same thing. If you buy an ability, you should get half of it back. Or you know what's even worse? What scares me the most is that if I power up somebody and I sell that power up card and get the same power up card back, I have to rebuy the ability because the power up is attached to. It has to be
the original card.
Right.
Yeah, silly. So maybe room for improvements for next year. Hey, I got a question. Do you think so with the resources and stuff? Do you think EA like their people there are overworked and stuff? Like, do you think like I hear a lot of things about how like overworked the people at EA are? Do you think that's true?
I think the people. I don't think all of them are, but I definitely think if you're a video game developer, again, I'll use it as the industry, but specifically, yeah, I absolutely believe so. Especially pre-release, there are people there. There are people working and sleeping in the office pre-release before this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like a sprint right before it happens, right before it goes gold. What about like right now, like the MUT team and stuff? Are they still busting their ass? Are they kind of like, are they redlining? Well, let's do this first part. Are they like? Do you think the MUT team is overwhelmed, like right now, or are they on a pretty good pace right now with what they're releasing?
I think a lot of stuff is scheduled before this, well, not before the season, but weeks ahead of time. But that being said, I don't know personally. I'm just conjecture. I would say they're probably on a good pace.
Okay.
But knowing how much post-launch stuff goes in, especially the MUT team and the gameplay guys separately, I know the gameplay guys are really borne down right now. But I can't.
Wait, why are they boring down right now?
No. Like they're being worked really hard. I mean, because they're still doing gameplay updates. Like there are definitive issues still that they're working on. So
I think didn't we have Rex in the pod last year around this time, Tex?
Mm-hmm.
And he said
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he said because we memed him about the third quarter of the most feared promo that he said's coming, because he said, what was it, 80% of the gameplay guys are already working on next year's game.
Yeah.
So I imagine something similar for right now for next year, and so I just want to say with the Mutt team, why, with so many things they got to do, why did they redo all of the artwork on the first journey if they got a lot of things, other things to do? Like, what was the point of rebranding it and redoing it all?
Unless it was already planned, that's the only thing I can think. Unless you're just doing it for no reason, you would have to think. I think that it was something that was already planned. When it comes to artwork like that, they don't do artwork middle of the year that often. Especially card artwork. Like that stuff is so planned meticulously. I can't believe that somebody came back to them and said, "Hey guys, let's change this up."
Yeah, it's just weird that they take the first journey, which has been out for 3 months here,
right?
And they just redo all the artwork for it. Like, can't you guys just give us some more cards per week? Like our theme teams, my Steelers theme team. This is some DBs here. Getting me new artwork for Steelers DBs. Get a Troy Polamalu in this game. Don't redo the journey. But anyways,
well, I think they redid it because it's kind of how rebranding works. They probably saw that it wasn't engaged heavily, so now they
forced us into that because they're jerks.
Had
God,
extra
with that legend pack. God,
the legend packs. I didn't even got on every day to get my daily objective. That's how much I care about the legendary pack. I can care less about it. And so I feel like they're like, we got to rebrand this because probably not as much engagement as they probably thought it would be, because that's one of the worst things to come out this year.
Yeah. Journey. That first journey, I was hoping to totally avoid it. Now they force us into it to keep with their journey shit, and and the
fun thing about it is I can see them locking the next journey, one of the
I know.
The next one it might be you gotta finish the first two, and then it's gonna be all the greatest rewards of all time. You're playing these shitty ones up front first to have something down the line pay off on the back end.
Yeah, and it's a good way of getting people to engage with old stuff. If they just get the game like Christmas or something. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about Beyond Madden Speed Chem and all? I don't really have any thoughts on it. Cool.
I mean, we'll see how. I mean, I don't have an issue with speed. I feel like you get caught from behind a lot. You can be in the open field and the guy will still hawk you down. So speed is not as noticeable this year. I mean, you'll notice it on halfbacks, I guess, but I get caught from behind a lot, and I have Tyreek Hill and shit.
I feel like that's gotten better since the update when they said they changed the speed threshold. I think it still happens a little too much, but I think.
Are you talking about solo battles, Tex?
Well, solo battles not no more. I can literally outrun anybody in the solo battles. I'm playing online. I think I have the touchdown. Then somebody from behind will come run me down. But maybe I'm not mashing right trigger.
Never had that unless they have an angle on me. I've never had that happen.
Yeah, because earlier today I had a linebacker number 50. Steve Smith cooked him, and then he caught me. I'm like,
well, that's Shaz, dude.
No, that wasn't Shaz because it was cover 3.
Linebacker 50.
The dude had 450s on the I think it might have been Telvin Smith. It's still 86 speed. Steve Smith is 91. It wasn't Shaz though, because unless Shaz is playing it was a cover 3 blitz, and unless Shaz was playing the purple, it wasn't Shaz.
I played against Savage, and he had Shaz. Shaz was his purple out there. It fucked me up because I thought I lost him in overtime. Because I tried to test Shaz twice, and dude made just a fucking unreal godly interception against me twice, and so I lost that game. But some people do move the Shaz around.
Interesting. I thought it might have been Shaz, but regardless, he had him cooked by 10 yards, and then he took his car from behind. So
yeah, I've never had that issue, but that's too bad. So you're saying speed isn't that worthy this year?
I mean, it's not as. They make it worse and worse every single year because they're trying to make it less important, so that way we don't care about it as much. That's why we keep getting cars the +1 speed upgrade when they get a +6 overall increase, because it's not that important. The other ratings, they're trying to make the other ratings matter, even though
I still think it's number 1.
It is number 1, but it's not as important as it has been in previous Maddens. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel you. I would agree. Same with height, but height still matters a little bit. All right, moving on. Football Outsiders. They screwed up, Tex. Talk to us.
Wait, what? Well, they screw up.
Training?
Oh,
you're the one who put it on the agenda.
First of all, I said training with the outside. You just gave me football outside. I was like, I like the kicker they came out with. What are you talking about? I like kicker, kind of nice. All right, so Football Outsiders. So Sunday they dropped the Outsider program, or what is it? September standouts, October standout, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cards had the wrong training on them. So Items that were 88 overall are usually supposed to be quick selling for 1100 training. They're quick selling for like less than that. 89s are quick selling for 1100, and then 91s inexplicably were quick selling for 1600, which normally quick sell for 32. So you're getting like half the training back. So somebody assigned the wrong training on those cards, which then affected the market because a lot of those cards were going for much less than normally would be going for had they had the right amount of training. Because so Phillip Rivers is going for the same price as an AJ Green, being a 1 overall higher. So he's
did you buy him up and make a lot of coins?
So no, what happened was I didn't know they had. I didn't think they were gonna fix it that day. So I got back on and I saw his price had jumped back. I saw that they fixed it, so I didn't get a chance to go ahead and buy a bunch. But I pulled one earlier, and he was going for 140,000 coins. And so I know a lot of people probably got finessed out of coins because EA made a mistake, and they haven't seemed to care about addressing it. They told me to contact EA support. And I'm like, just give everybody their correct training back that sold card or something. Like the fact that I got to go contact somebody for a mess up that you did seems kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, that's one of those things like, damn. But I guess I don't care that much. That's like the definition of like, what do you think?
I care
Mills?
because like just the fact that people.
It was on the market. It was on the market, and it was gonna get fixed, and it got fixed.
I know, but the market would have been going for a lot more. So people who didn't know that it wasn't. It was like they're like, oh, Phil's only 140. And I guess it made a bad mistake to sell it instead of just holding on to it or quick selling it. But still,
if they were like, I get it. You got to protect the ignorant, but I don't know. That seems like you know something like that would have been updated.
Yeah, I get you on that. I just don't like the fact that some people were selling cards still. They thought that might just be in his. Because some people pull the card to sell. They don't look at the training at all. Because some people don't care about that aspect of it. And his price was affected by that, just based off of what his training was. I dead ass think he would have been like 200K plus if his price was correct or if his training was correct.
So hold until he goes up to 200K is what you're saying?
Or EA could just reimburse you for selling a card for much less than that. Because a lot of people sold for 140, and I was happy because I got 15K training that day.
Yeah, well, I think I bought him around that too, because
like,
I didn't believe those
I
packs.
think it was like 45 coins per trade. That's like the cheapest ever going to be all year. Well, not all year, but cheapest like it's gotten like right now.
Yeah,
And you can use that training to buy some power ups that you got in your upgrade your power ups and make more of those packs. That's what I was doing all week. I made at least like 10 of those packs.
yeah, they do well for you.
Yeah, I think I pulled Rivers 4 out of the 10 times. That's no okay. Kicker though.
Yeah.
Did you get the kicker?
I didn't pull any of them.
Did you get the kicker though?
No. Oh, did I buy him? No, I'll buy him when I do my rebuild for Thanksgiving.
All right.
I think, depending on what his price is going to be.
He has focus kicker.
Yeah. Hey, Mills.
Yes, sir.
What's your opinion on Thanksgiving and its promo that's going to come out? Are you hyped for it?
I am. I get hyped for the promos. When I play MUT, most of the stuff I do is wait for the promos and try to get, a player here, a player there, starter for the team. I don't get into the market and auction house like you guys do. I love watching it. I love watching you guys like the videos of how to like not cheat the system, but the best way, like the stock market. It's exactly like a stock market. You guys are stockbrokers for a lot of people. I love watching that side of it, but I don't get that heavily invested. So when the promo comes out, I like it. I like the promos, especially that where you get if you get all of the pieces for the master, they give you the pieces back. Those are my favorite promos where you can get multiple cards.
It's weird because like people like hate it. I see like so people like it, but they talk about the negatives and they hate it. Like nothing in life is 100% great. So when you get a master with cards back, I see people complaining to high heaven about how it costs more to do the master set and get the cards back than it costs just to buy the master off the market. Like they don't understand people price factor in these NAT cards that are high overall into the price of doing the set. So the market sets the price higher to do the set than it does to get the card back because you get 9 cards out of it with the master. And it's like, all right, sometimes like. Do you try to educate people like that? Because sometimes just like it's not worth it, or what? I don't know.
You try.
Just some of my frustration.
If somebody's frustrated, and you can see it's a frustration communication, not a
by ignorance.
Right. Frustrated by ignorance, not frustrated by wait. It's Madden. I have to hate this. Like if it's frustration, then you go, hey, look, let me explain to you what you're getting and why it's more expensive. I just went through this with a lot of the MLB The Show stuff too. But so again, you have to explain. Look, you're getting, let's say 8 players, whatever it is. You're getting 9 players back, including a master. If you don't want to do, if some of those players don't play for your team, then don't do them. Do the master, but go buy the master. But if you really want to get, there are some people where those 9 guys are 9 starters on their squad. That's the other thing. I think a lot of people, we get into this Twitter bubble or this like Mudhead bubble of, we're all kind of high level in terms of intelligence or know like the game. We're still the minority to the people that play Mud. We're still the casual group. There are tons of players out there that don't have like an 85 overall team or like an 84 overall team that are still building. People that don't want to put money in, like people that do mobile games. Same idea. Like we get into this do something for me because I have a 95 overall team and I want to make it better. But then you have to realize that some of these cards that come out, like I hate the Football Outsiders program this year. I've hated it since day one. With the exception of getting getting a Myers once in a while where you have focus kicker that can really help out. Like I just don't see the point of it. Like there's no program attached to it. It's just more cards. It's just essentially a card that say Football Outsider on it, and you can get them out of like some series trophies. But there are some people that love it because they're like, hey, that's my favorite player. Like I'm a huge Ronald Darby fan. Like I want that Ronald Darby Football Outsider. So I think we lose track of not everything has to be, like you said, not everything has to be for you. Like if you don't want 9 players, don't get 9 players. Get the master, get your coins, because a lot of those things are build up coins for the people that do want all 9 cards, and get out.
Yeah, I agree. Not everything is for every market, and there's no way EA to address every single market. But secondly, I'm really, really insulted you didn't mention Reddit in that Twitter Mudhead bubble. just want to throw it out there. And then Tex, what do you think? Like, do you spend a lot of your time having to like educate people that might not know the finer details of like how the game mode works? And it's that what do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, as a YouTuber, you kind of go through that where you gotta like help somebody out. So my buddy just got into the game, and I'm like his Mud consultant essentially. And I'm just, he says, I'm about to do a diamond sale. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, really?
Diamond sale? He's like, I want that Jalen. I'm like, why are you buying all these elites though? Well, I got the coins, and I thought that I can just go buy it, and just go buy the fucking card. I got mad at him. He's like, he doesn't know any better. He just thinks that it's what you're supposed to do.
Do the set. I will say that there's a certain feeling about the completion of a set. I don't know what it is, but I definitely see that people want to complete sets.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, just take everything out and sell. I'm like, just get your coins back up and then go buy the Rams if you want them that bad. There's no point because that set's gonna. I'll let you break it down. Do the math right now. Like if you go buy all those cards and just see what it's just not worth it. So you have to realize, like Mills was saying, that we are super duper nerds about this, so we're gonna be more knowledgeable than others. And I guess it's our job just to kind of inform those and to not. I can't really say get mad. I get mad a lot when motherfuckers make dumb decisions, but just understand that people are going to do things that don't make any sense to you, and you just have to deal with that. So people are gonna complain about stuff that doesn't make sense.
I get you. Yeah, I feel you. So Mills, you're a variety streamer. I'd see you tweeting about a lot of different games, right?
Yes.
Do you have a day job?
Yes, I do. I 9 to 5 normally. Hey, listen. I want to at some point. That's the goal at some point. But for the time being, we're on the straight and narrow.
So you work your 9 to 5. You stream a whole bunch of different games. How are you community like sentiment guy and feedback manager for so many different games? How do you get the, like, if anybody wants to follow in your footsteps, how do they do and become you? Just really involve yourself in the community? In a lot of different communities, or
don't have a real social life.
Nice.
Addict yourself to social media because you have to. I legitimately have my phone in my hand probably every waking hour, including when I'm streaming. So honestly, for me, it's a labor of love, and it's such a cliche, but I legitimately want to see these games be better. Like I want NBA Live to be better. I want NHL to be better. I want Madden to be a better game. I want MLB to be better. Like I want all of these games to be better games, and I know that I have the reach to help.
Why was MLB so bad? Oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
So what?
Go ahead. Yeah, I actually want to answer that one. No.
All right, answer it. Why was MLB so bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think it was better than it was last year. The issue is that they took a big swing this year. They could swing for the fences with Immortals this year. They put Immortals out in July. 99 overall cards that you had to literally grind so much for. The problem is that when you put people into a game mode like that, they're going to take the easiest path possible. The easiest path possible to a lot of those Immortals was to play against the computer on rookie level. So in the middle of the game cycle in July, right around the All-Star break, you told people, listen, this is what you have to do. You have to play 100 games against the CPU on rookie. You literally put them into the worst possible way to show off the game and told them that's the easiest path to get to these Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was not expected by them. I don't think they expected that to happen, but that is a huge misstep because then you burnt players out in that game in 2 weeks. People didn't want to play it. They created bad habits by playing by CPU on rookie. They played the game so much. The people that got multiple Immortals, like they just didn't want to put the game back in their console. And again, by the time they were burnt out, Madden was just knocking on that door.
Yeah, I definitely got that because I got almost all the Immortals too. Not on my own, shared account, but because it took 3 of us grinding to get them. I mean, it was insane.
I believe
the
it.
grind for these Immortals, yeah. But like, yeah, once we got done with them, then it's like Madden season. I'm like, oh crap, I can't even get videos out in Babe Ruth. One, because people can get them in Battle Royale and just get videos out in Battle Royale, and I'm like, maybe I should just do that next year. Wait till somebody discover it, just do a video on Battle Royale, because there's no reason to really grind for these Immortals, because you could just use them in other game modes. So that kind of like, it took the specialness out of the Immortals, if people could just like play and get them in Battle Royale, but I don't know. That's like, that's probably just my opinion. I'm sure people love BR, and that they got it from that. So that's whatever. Secondly, Immortals themselves are terrible. Just the thought that like, they should just give us, like, what they should have done is give us Babe Ruth. You know how they gave it, like, the rookie card? They gave him different points of the career. Like, I don't love these. They're kind of created players, aren't they? They're like, they're fake players. So, just like, once they hit July, once you hit the Immortals and you get more Immortals, it's cool and all. But I like having a well-balanced game over, like, and then once you get to the end, maybe you can do, like how Madden does their golden tickets in, May or June now. They're doing really late now. But I think give us even better cards in July. So with these Immortals, why can't we just get like a 1927 Babe Ruth and like where you have like bad speed or something like that, where like instead of doing one guy that encapsulates their whole career, where like Vlad Guerrero is like one of the best players because he had a good season stealing, he had a good season hitting home runs. Like, why don't they just make them more balanced?
That's a great idea. Honestly, I think that's one of the things that they're going to take back. And if you see now, like, even the way to get Immortals, like, you see that, like, there's a Mike Trout now coming out that you can get with different programs instead of having to, even though I think
Just
people complain about I think people complained about the souvenirs a little too much this year without understanding, again, ignorance, but not understanding the best way to get them, to get through the souvenirs using the exchange and everything. But I think this is the first year that they did this. I think they're going to take that feedback back, especially the fact that they're 99 overall and they were available in July. Let's put it this way. If you get Babe Ruth, you're not looking for another left fielder for the entire time. Like, any left fielder that comes out after that, you have no interest in. Unless again, theme team, trying to get somebody on your favorite team, which for the Orioles, I don't have to worry about, so.
Yeah, like and Ruth himself, like, he's a little slow, so I can see why people. I think I ended up putting him at first base. Is that what I did?
Yeah.
No. Pujols at third. Mm-hmm. Ripken at short. Right? Who's the third base? Ripken was third base Immortal, right?
Chipper was the third base Immortal, and Ripken was the shortstop.
Chipper at second then? Did he have second?
He has second base eligibility. Yep.
Yeah. So then Pujols third, Chipper second, Ruth first. Outfield was Guerrero in right field. God, I can't remember who the other ones were. Who the other Immortal outfielders?
Griffey was the center fielder.
Duke Snyder, I think. Yeah, Griffey was definitely the center fielder.
Yeah.
Duke Snyder, I think, hit in right field for a while for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's enough of that. Tex, tell us why you hated MLB The Show.
I just got bored of it. Like, I didn't mind like the grinding aspect of it, but like, it did take a while to even like do a lot of things. But I just didn't like the whole, like, the packs are not great over there. It's all about, they're kind of worse than MUT packs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're cheap and stuff, but they're worse than MUT packs. But I just couldn't find myself playing online because it just seemed like if you go against a guy that'll just whip your ass, and just like the matchmaking just didn't serve me. I know you start out low, but every game I went into, I would give it like 4 runs.
As a content creator,
yeah,
MLB is the hardest game to create content for, not because of the gameplay, but because it's so much grind to get to the cards. Whereas Madden, you can do solos or you can buy packs. NBA is the same way. You can go through the solo path to get them, or you can get packs. Up until the finest or like player of the month, it's incredibly tough to say to a content creator who's streaming 8 to 10 hours a day, possibly like a full timer, or even me. Like it's I have none of the grinded immortals. I have 0 because I don't have time to do them. It's incredibly tough on a content creator to say, hey, look, you're gonna have to grind 200s plus CPU games on rookie, and guess what? You're probably not going to do that on stream or YouTube because it's boring as hell to watch. You have to do it off stream. It's like you're going to tell content creators to look at you and go, what? Why? So one of the pieces of feedback I can tell you that went back to them was there has to be more instant gratification next year in terms of give some themed packs that have some decent rewards in there that can wow people. Like give us like player of the weeks or moment cards or whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do that's themed. Make sure there's content every Friday or whenever you put it out every Friday that isn't just go in and play 15 games to get this. Like this postseason program that they just put out today is really nice, but you don't get the Steve Pierce right away. You're gonna have to grind through a bunch of games.
Here's the issue with all that. NAT rewards. It's horseshit in Madden. They're giving us a lot of it. MLB is all non-auctionable. They don't have trading in MLB. Why don't you just make your immortals auctionable? Right? That way, the people that grind it out immediately, they get rewarded by being able to sell that guy for 1 million stubs. People that want them immediately without doing the grinding are able to buy them with cash. It's literally, it helps everybody.
Fully agree. I fully agree with that. Make the immortal. I'd be perfectly fine with making those immortals auctionable because you put your own money and time into it. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. So it's just silly to me. Tex?
How come they're not like, so if they're going into next year with like a different, like, not mindset, but with all this feedback, are they debuting some of the stuff now? Because sometimes Madden will do some test runs. Like 2 years ago, they test run the objectives list for Tom Brady to see if that was a way to go about the MUT Master for the Sean Taylor last year.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they've done that. They've done that. The last three programs that they've had, they had a postseason run program during the postseason. They had the finest packs, and then they have this current postseason run. All of which give you, and even the pre-order has you get a 95 Bryce Harper in 18 right now for pre-ordering the next game. So, and again, that's kind of a gimmick, but so the programs that are in right now, 2 of them were no packs, no buying anything. You can just grind through them, but there's no exchanges either. There were no souvenirs attached to them, and the way you get them, like the goals are a little different. The finest was all purchased. Like, you could get a couple of guaranteed in certain. You could do a couple like 50 BR wins or 30 wins against the CPU. You get free guaranteed players, guaranteed finest players. But you could also buy packs or get them on the market. And you could see the market right now. Like some of the top ones are like 400,000 stubs, but a lot of them are 100,000 or 70 for like the lower end ones. So and I believe, we don't know the pack odds, but I believe that all of them are an even chance pull too right now. So.
Yeah, I will say it does feel to me like I get that they're testing them out and stuff and doing all that stuff. It feels like, I said this last year, I'll say it again. It feels like the MLB team is like 3 years in experience behind the MUT team for the things that they screw up. Like I see the same mistakes that they make that the MUT team made a few years ago. They're like, hey, the community's like, hey, that's bullshit. Don't do that. You fix that. Like it seems like you say, they have these unforeseen things, and it's like if you just get a MUT veteran, just get somebody that's like, no, that's gonna blow up in your face. Like here's the thing, I could see a lot of issues coming down the road, just basically like looking at these things, like how do they not see like people being able to trying to get these like the most cheesy way possible? It's just weird.
It's a combination of it being a much smaller team. The MLB development team is, and again, you're talking about the people inside. You're talking about what they're thinking, but resource size, they're about the same size as the NHL team, which is about, I believe, half of what the Madden team has. Second of all, is Mutt's been around a lot longer too. Diamond Dynasty essentially just his 3rd year.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. Like, it seems like they're so far behind. Like, can't they just play their competitors and catch up? And like, is there nobody from other communities there to like you yourself? You're in a lot of these things. Like, how do you not tell them like, this isn't gonna work out?
Well, again, when you're talking about the Immortal program, I didn't know when the Immortal program. Like, I could tell them they didn't bring up the Immortal program to any of their content. And again, their content creation program or their partner program is 7 people right now. They're still growing. Where the Game Changer program has been around for a couple of years, theirs has been around for 1. So what I could tell them from what they were doing, like, they're not going to give all of the secrets out. So again, the Immortal program being their big secret, I couldn't give feedback directly on that until I saw
it.
Hey,
make you sign an NDA. Yeah.
Well, and this thing, we're all signed.
Huge
NDAs.
mistake.
We're all signed NDAs.
Huge.
So.
Yeah. Huge missed opportunity.
Oh, you think EA is quiet? Sony is a whole nother world, brother.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Sony's actually put out some pretty freaking, like, that Spider-Man game. Like, not to get too off, we've been off topic for a long time. That Spider-Man game, fucking amazing. Like,
Great.
that, I just 100%ed it. It's fucking amazing.
God of War. God of War came from the same place.
You got that suit where if you punch somebody, they die one hit, but if you get punched, you die.
What?
That's what you get for 100% again. I'm told.
Yep.
You get a suit where if you punch somebody, they die with 1 hit, but if you get hit, you die. You die as well.
Like I finished the game after getting all the objectives in the game, and then I didn't look at it anymore.
Oh, you just got done as
I literally, like, because Red Dead Redemption had come out. I finished it like I don't know, a week ago or something. And then like once I beat the final story and I finished everything in the city, like before that, I'm like, all right, well, let's keep playing Red Dead Redemption. I didn't even look anymore at it. But that's cool. Anyways, so Sony makes good games, and their game, and it seems like I got into MLB The Show a couple years back because I didn't have a PlayStation for a long time. Like, I played baseball games for a long time, and then took a break for a few years. Then I got back into MLB The Show based off all the positive feedback people were talking about it. And then it seems like the last 2 years, people have been nothing but negative about it. Has it really gone downhill, or it's just gotten bigger, so there's more negative voices now?
It's gotten bigger. I mean, I definitely believe that 18 was better than 17. 17's big issues were gameplay. I think 18's big issues focused more on the way the content came out.
Stop. It's time to stop. No, 18's gameplay, it's time to stop.
With the exception of pitch speeds, 18's gameplay is definitely better than 17. You go back to 17, you can
agree
still
with
hit the
that.
ball 130 miles an hour late down the right field line.
I agree with the gameplay is better, but let's not act like it was great. Like, there's... Okay.
No, I'm not saying there's still a lot of things
Especially when the game
fix.
launched. When the game launched, it was wacky.
It was terrible. It was terrible to play head-to-head online when in 18. I agree.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. That was... Like, it made me give up the game for a month there. After I think it was like patch 2, after patch 2 until patch 3. Once patch 3 came, I'm like, okay, all right, now I can play it. And I had a little bit more fun after patch 3. But I think it was patch 2. I'm not remember. But it absolutely killed my desire to go to the game, like play the game at all.
That's a whole other topic in sports games and gaming in general is what patches do to like different communities. So I'm
pro patch. I think everybody's like Madden launch is great. I'm like, did we play the same fucking game? I rage quit my stream on launch night of Madden,
right?
Because it frustrated me. Patches, in my opinion, are 100% needed. They come out like once a month, once every month and a half. I need it Fortnite schedule. I need a patch ASAP for this bullshit. They unpatched fake screen wheel. Do you know that? They patched fake screen wheel and they unpatched it for some stupid reason. Yeah, what the hell? What are they doing?
I got 2 words for you. Subscription service fixes all the problems.
Can you patch more with a subscription-based service?
If you have a subscription-based service, I believe you have the ability to update it without as much approval process. I believe so, but that's why you're seeing a lot of subscription services coming out now. So.
Interesting. So Madden would be like $5 a month,
or whatever it is. Yeah, you'd probably be paying for more than just Madden. You probably play like Origin Premier is on PC now. How you pay $100? It's $100 a year, and you get everything.
4 games?
Yeah, you get like it's more. Well, you're gonna get Anthem coming up too, so it's like FIFA.
Yeah, I think it's 4 games annually though a year.
Yeah, something like that. It's and their
well,
entire
I mean more
vault,
obviously, but everybody playing it. You know, Fox is not playing live.
Hell no.
You get 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think Madden's moving to that?
I think gaming in general. Again, I think just the way that it is, but I think EA Origin Premier on PC is the test atmosphere for that. That
just seems like a way of getting around the approval process for patches. That doesn't really like solve anything. That's just like a shitty Band-Aid.
No. If
the approval process.
I'm perfectly fine with them getting. If that's the way they want to get around the approval process, I'm okay with that. Honestly, because the approval process for Microsoft currently is like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that's like okay.
I
don't know.
That's 2 to 3 weeks less than they could do. I mean,
I get it that from EA side, but that's like as a huge partner with Microsoft and Sony and whatnot. Like some of the biggest, like they just got to be able to work through that. Like that changing your entire game around to a live service because you can't communicate with like your big partners. It doesn't seem right to me.
Oh, I don't think that's the reason they're going to subscription service. I don't think that's the reason they would do that. I think it's more financially sound for them. And I think in general, it because again, you look at Steam, people that play PC games on Steam right now are getting like so many more deals on games, and like subscription services allow large companies to keep people in their atmosphere instead of going out to like Steam or even Discord. Discord just opened a store for PC gaming now, so.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, PC's a little bit easier, but I see what you're saying. And with cross-platform play coming a lot more, I wonder if that'll help bring gamers together more. With Fortnite did it, so maybe we'll see a cross-platform PS4 Xbox market here on Madden. If we're all
not, cause they won't even change the auction block.
What do you mean?
It'll be like a billion cards up there, and you still won't be able to see the cheapest one.
You just get the right filters, Tex.
Sorry, you don't got a price filter.
Or maybe they could put their auction house on PC.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of going PC because it's a lot easier to exploit that. Get bots and automate it.
I agree until like FIFA apparently is pretty secure now. I'm not saying it's fully secure, but
let's not talk about price ranges.
I know.
Yeah, so let's not talk about FIFA or Madden Mobile. Mobile literally got rid of their auction house. All you do is buy and sell from EA now. So let's not use them as examples. Like going through because you can easily automate so many things easier than in the closed systems of Xbox and PlayStation. I think it's still doable. I'm imagining, but we'll see with the transition to next gen. If it's as easy in the next gen too as some people are saying it is in the current one. Anyways, for MUT stuff, I'm kind of out. Oh, one thing, they added the coin option to Legends packs. Tex, are you happy?
Not really.
No? Why not?
I mean, I'm glad that you can buy packs with coins now, but they didn't follow that through with every other pack in the store. So like today, they dropped the Team of the Week packs. Those are still only able to be gotten with money. Like the Team of the Week fantasy packs. So it's a start, but what they did when they added the coin option was they fucked the token sets up. So I guess that's our fault for wanting a coin option.
Yeah, you get one step forward, one step back. Mm-hmm. It's like a deal with the devil. Or do we have to wish upon our monkey paw? Does something go wrong every time we get something positive?
It seems to be going that way so far. So I'm not happy about it. I guess it's cool for people who want to do people want to just go out and just because it's better just to buy them with coins and to spend your hard-earned money on it because those packs are kind of terrible. But really, all they had to do was just add an extra round for an 84 and to guarantee 84 minimum and two of them at least.
Yeah, or a better topper. Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting a better topper until February, bro.
Sucks.
Until it's after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hate that.
You know the rules.
Rules are meant to be broken, Tex. You know that.
I got you.
Our illicit love
is
all about breaking the rules.
I'm not gonna get an upgrade until freaking after the Saints somehow win the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden we're gonna start getting toppers to guarantee 9 on overall play Legends.
You know
the cycle.
happening. Yeah, I don't see that.
You don't see that happening.
99 Legends stoppers. Anyways, hey, so Mills, when are you going down to EA next?
No idea. Nothing scheduled.
Oh, okay. Is it generally like February or January, February-ish?
Actually, I honestly don't know. In that case, I normally go. Most of my stuff has been summerish when it happens, but I don't know when the next one is.
So you Tex talks about different tiers of Gamechangers. What are you? Are you a tier 2?
All right, are you a game changer that they pay for a hotel for, or are you a game changer they invite you to the event, but you gotta book your own trip?
They spit in your bologna sandwich.
Yeah, I bring my own bologna and spit in it myself. So no, no, I don't think there's different tiers of game changers. I think
no, there's different tiers. There's different tiers.
I think
there's the your boy pizza. The your boy pizza tier.
Your boy pizza, and so are like upper
QJB,
echelon.
yeah.
Oh, maybe you're talking about guys with millions of YouTube subscribers. Okay, so if you're talking about the content, like the big time content guys, I'm nowhere near that. No.
We can talk about what is different. A lot of guys are on Twitter that have game changer. I'm talking about the ones that that EA doesn't really care about, because they don't like they care about their opinion, but because you're not contributing anything back to us, we're not going to contribute anything back to you. You have the title, but we really don't respect you.
Let me put it. That's what I'm talking. Let me put it in a vague way. You want a vague way? You can chew one for a little bit. They don't care about people that stopped caring about them. If for some reason you as a game changer have decided to go into business for yourself and stop worrying about, you know, the correct way to do things, and you're just going to say, hey, look, I'm more worried about getting viewers than I am, you know, being an actual ambassador, then yeah, you can go screw yourself from me personally. And from EA, probably they don't talk to them as much anymore.
Did somebody just do that?
I have no idea.
I'll take that as a yes. And I almost think I want to guess at it, but I'm not going to.
Even if you did guess and it was actually a true thing that happened, I would still sit here silent.
Oh, so like you're just doing whatever. Theoretical.
I'm saying theoretically, if you decided to go into business for yourself and just decided that your viewers, like the fact that I could say FEA in public and then it'll get me, you know, 2,000 more followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
That if you do that, then you've done, again, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing the Game Changer program a disservice, and I could care less if they talk to you again.
So whoa. This brings us back to like our whole. Like, so EA's shutting out people that are negative.
No, I didn't say that. I said
it's pretty darn close.
No,
I don't know.
There's a difference between
the pot smells like boiled turtle.
Nope.
There's probably a turtle in that pot.
There's a difference between being
What's that analogy?
negative and for yourself and constructive negative. Like saying FEA with nothing behind it. If you go on a rant, but go on a rant for a reason. Like have a point behind it. Have something that can be fixed. Don't go like, you know what, FEA, F Clint, F Rex, F all of them, they don't care. Like that's something, if you say that they don't care, and because you know they do, if you're just saying that because you know you'll get viewers out of it, listen, then I got news for you.
What if I yell out Clint's name every time something fluky happens to me in game?
You know, they still yell Rex in chat. Every time they still yell Rex in chat when something goes wrong.
Yeah, when I played MLB this summer, whenever something went wrong, I still blamed EA.
See, that's great though.
It's
like,
all EA's fault.
It's
EA's
great
fault.
to me. Meme is the best way to do things.
Yeah. Hey, how much money would it take for you to get a coin deal? Give up all your EA contacts.
I don't believe in coin deals.
mean?
I'm being dead serious when I say this. I've had offers. I've had offers for coin deals. It has nothing to do with my relationship with EA. It's not my thing. I'm in a very good place in my life to where I make enough money that I don't have to worry about that. I just don't.
But you still take sponsorships and the bounty board on Twitch to play games.
I absolutely do. And I 100% say up front that this is a sponsored stream. I'm taking money for this in the stream before I say anything.
Yeah, obviously. But what's the line that you're drawing with coin deals? I
don't believe in like selling coins for games. It gets against a toss for the game. Like I just don't believe in it. Like you're buying stuff, like there's people that sell stubs for percentages off when you could just buy stubs in game. I mean,
yeah, that's the silly one. Whereas like EA, because they're dumb and don't allow coin sales. But I can see like stub sellers. That's the weird thing to me. Like because you can already buy them and you won't get banned.
Right.
But so like people promoting stub, like I don't get how they I don't get how they transfer stubs because there's no trade market. Probably just by buying at the market and then buying a cheap like silver card for expensive. But anyway, for like coin deals, yeah, I get it. It's against the terms of service, and so that's your thing. You want to go with the game's terms of service, right?
Right.
All right. What about farm accounts? You pro or con farm accounts?
I don't mind farm accounts personally.
Whoa! That's against terms of service.
It is. It's against, but you're not. All right. So the way accounts work right now, I don't mind farm accounts because if you're going through all the solo stuff, it's not like it's not actually not trade, and that's one of the reasons it is. By the way, one of the reasons it's not actually not trade is because
not all solos.
Not all of it. I agree.
You can also do sets, and you can buy that $5 pack.
Yeah, I agree. I understand that
on multiple accounts.
I'm not because you're putting in the time.
Elite earlier in the year.
You're still putting in the time. Yeah, there's definitely ways. There's always gonna be ways to get around it. I agree. But again, when you're doing your own account, I'm okay with it because again, you're putting time in. You're still putting your time. I'm a firm believer that if you're gonna buy something, you're either putting money or time into it. If you're gonna put your time into it to go through the solos again, I'm okay with that. No, I'm not that worried about it. That's not an official stance. That's a personal stance.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I think life is full of shades of gray, and overall, it's okay to have a nuanced position on things. But that's it for the podcast. We've kept you here long enough. We've dragged you through the mud, sent you through the ringer. The Muttmen podcast. Tex, any last words? Oh shit! Wait, how are you still speaking to us? How are you still speaking to us? Oh, okay. So luckily. Good thing I was just given a third degree on coin selling and if you take a coin sponsor and what amount of money, that kind of stuff. But Tex, so wait, we didn't go to any. God dang, we ran out of time for questions. All right, we'll get questions next week. Yeah, because this has already gone on super long. All right, Mills, thanks for being on, bud. It's always good talking with you. I hopefully brought you closer to the dark side, the negativity. Go for the likes. Don't worry about being positive. Being positive is not going to get you anywhere in life. It's a bad thing to be. Overall, you'll be much more happy being negative all the time. That's my final pitch. What do you say?
I'm writing a mean tweet to Clint right now.
Awesome. Glad to have you on board. Woo! Muttmen episode 139 is done. Check out Mills. His links are in the description below. And same with Texas, of course, like every week. So check him out. Mills on Twitch and Twitter. And peace out, dudes. I will talk to you guys later.